Hello and welcome to Dynamis, the game about God and His living church. In the previous video I explained what Dynamis is and what it can do and what you can do with it. In this video I will explain how to set it up. Dynamis can be played with 3 to 12 people, and depending on the mode that you choose to play, it takes between 60 and 150 minutes to play. You have 8 churches that are very different to choose from. There's a Catholic cathedral, a Lutheran church, a classical free church, there's a small town church, you can choose a city church, an international church, a new church plant, or an evangelistic event church. All 8 churches have things in common. On the board you can see 8 qualities that God Himself placed into His church. Natural church growth, a study that was conducted with 70,000 churches worldwide, found that independent of the social background, the culture, or even country, these 8 qualities were present in every church. Each of the 8 churches that you can choose to play has different strengths and weaknesses. On average, the points are the same to create a fair start for everyone. At the start of the game, you will take one of these 3 colored chips and place them on the X's that are on your quality tables. Next, on your board, you find the church building. They are very different buildings, and you will notice that you can already see the church structure through the way the building is built. In the Catholic cathedral, for instance, you can see the seats are in rows. You can see there are the volunteers, the volunteer teams, and then there is the leadership and the priest at the top. If you look at the small town church, it's a little bit disorganized. You have to kind of find who is sitting where. Again, throughout all the churches, they have the same starting point. In each church, you will find small yellow dots representing spaces for guests. Then there are bigger yellow dots. Those are for small groups of up to 10 people. Then there are green dots. The smaller green dots are for volunteers, and the larger ones for volunteer teams, again of 10 people. You will also find red dots. Those are for the leadership of the church. Deacons. There are different names in different churches. The blue dot will represent the pastor or priest of the church. To start the game, you will have 75 churchgoers, 11 guests, 4 small groups with 10 guests each, so that makes 40 guests in the small groups. Then you will have 10 volunteers and 1 team of volunteers, that again is 10 people. Then you have 3 deacons, and of course you have 1 pastor to start with. In total that is 75 people. On your board, some of the dots are marked more strongly than others, and if you put chips on those, you'll automatically have the 75. Of course, you can also put your chips on other dots, and it is completely up to you what chip you put on each dot. So you can have a woman or a man. It really is up to you, as long as you start off with the 75. To win the game, you must increase all 8 qualities to 7 or above. The survey of natural church development also showed that across the globe, wherever a church had all these qualities, people would love to go to the church and would feel blessed by God in that environment. The second way to win Dynamis is to increase the attendance of your church from 75 to 150 churchgoers. Because we are talking about a God that is 3 in 1, there is also a third way to win. And this way is a secret. It is not in the rule book, just that it does exist. Because there are things that God shows us from the very beginning, but there are things that to find them and to know about them, we need to start going the path. And there we will find it. To finish setting up the game, you take the playing cards with the green border and divide them into 4 equal piles with the back up, and then the only other thing you need are the 3 dice. Now you have finished setting up Dynamis, and how to play, well, I will explain that in the next video.